reached out and asked if you had read the indictment. You said you read it word for word, page for page, right?
I did. I keep up. I love Jackson.
Even though they've not been in court and they've not been found guilty, it's just an indictment at this point.
They don't see it. My first statement was, think of your family. Think about your family. Put your family first.
I never thought in a million years we would have been put in the situation that we were in. Never. Because we went through our whole career doing the right thing.
It's utterly ridiculous to me. Utterly ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. And good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's edition of the Othor Cain Show. I'm Othor Cain. Glad to have you aboard on a Tuesday. I don't know if you're like me, man. I am suffering from sinuses and allergies and all of those good things. Eyes are swollen and all of that. But we are here nonetheless, and we are glad to have you here. We've got a jam-packed hour. We're going to go Clarksdale to Canton and maybe even to Hollywood at some point tonight. So we're going to crisscross a few places tonight with lots of really good information. First, though, got to say thank you to all of our sponsors. We really do appreciate your coming on board and supporting independent Black media. We are in control of our own narrative, and we absolutely appreciate your support. So don't let your support stop. We really do appreciate that. You can scan that QR code. Also, you can make a donation and $ Othor Cain. Certainly do appreciate all of the support that you give us. And because we have such a packed hour, in fact, they are still in executive session at the Board of Aldermen's meeting in Canton tonight. I'm going to try to get a snippet of that before we get out of here. But let's go ahead and get started with our very first guest tonight. I'm excited to have this young man join us on our live stream tonight, Mr. Tyler Yarbrough, who is doing some amazing work in Clarksdale, Mississippi. If you've been living under a rock, you may have missed this, but outside of that, you have seen his work all over the place over the course of the last couple of weeks. I think Tyler has the potential to be president of the United States one of these days, but he hails from Clarksdale, Mississippi. He's an Ole Miss grad. He's an advocate. He has his hands in every single thing in Clarksdale. I don't think that I've met a young person that's more proud of where they are from than this guy. And he preaches it, he advocates for it, and he works in all spaces. Tyler, good evening to you, sir. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Othor. I'm very glad to be here to talk some more.
Good deal. Well, we are glad to have you here. First of all, man, before we get into the gist of why you are here, I guess I want to ask you, you're so young. How did you get connected to the community like you are and get so vested in your birthplace?
I think there was a lot of different things. I think at an early age, my grandma, she was very involved in the community. She had us. She organized the Relay for Life, and I used to always just be out there like filling sandbags and helping out and volunteering. But it wasn't until I was like early college when I realized that was actually volunteering. But at an early age, I kind of knew that I needed to give back to the community. But also, there were also other programs that I was involved in that really taught me how to organize in a very thoughtful way that included people and give people power in that process. Starting when I was like in 11th and 12th grade, advocating around some changing some of the laws in regards to education in Mississippi. We were having meetings in coffee shops and taking folks down to Jackson to lobby with their legislators. And so I got started very, very early, and a lot of people poured into me to get me to the place I am today.
Well, you are a great organizer. And like I said before, you're in so many different spaces. You're in the community school space. You're in the farming space. I think we connected through Partnership for a Healthy America. So you are all over the place, but doing effective work. And I'm excited about that. You are an example to so many. So speaking of organizing, let's get right to this. So I don't know how many people out there have seen the movie Sinners, but it's an incredible movie. And the movie it's based on a setting in Clarksdale, Mississippi. Though none of these people in my mind have been to Clarksdale, Mississippi, the movie is based on a setting, almost a replica of Clarksdale, Mississippi. Most of the filming actually took place, though, in Louisiana. Clarksdale, as all of you know, is in the Delta. Clarksdale is without a movie theater, as so many small towns across the South are. In fact, my hometown of Canton, Mississippi, they don't have a movie theater. Tyler, you've seen the movie twice. However, you've had to drive 80 miles to see it each time. First, where did you see the movie? And then how true for you did the movie depict Clarksdale?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I saw the first time I saw the movie was at the Malco Paradiso in IMAX in Memphis. And then the second time I was at the Choctaw Reservation in Choctaw, Mississippi, and I saw it there. The movie is really good from like the opening. There's like a scene that really like kind of shakes you, and just being from Clarksdale, from the opening scene, Clarksdale with the year to like the first 10, 15 minutes where like the cinematography really like shakes a person. And then what precedes that, like afterwards, is really like a journey through historical Clarksdale. And for me, it really resonated with me because, you know, my family been in Houma County for 5 generations. My great grandmother, she was like the first. Her and her grandparent, her parents were the first to move from the country to the city, which was Clarksdale. And you visually saw that in the film, which was just like kind of beautiful. There are also moments where Stack and the main characters went into a Chinese grocery store. And if you know anything about Clarksdale in the Delta, there were Chinese grocery stores, corner grocery stores, all over neighborhoods, you know, every corner. And I'm doing some work around getting like improving food access in Clarksdale, particularly with corner grocery stores. And so to see that, it was just it did something for me, and just aligned with some of the work that I was already doing. And so I went and took some pictures of just like all the corner grocery stores that were owned by Chinese folks that were all in neighborhoods. And I went in 2 neighborhoods. I took pictures of over 12 stores that were there that sold produce, that sold fresh chicken and beef and meat. And I hear stories with my grandma of these same stores slicing bacon to order. You know, you don't hear something like that going on right now, right? Even at Walmart or Kroger, you don't hear that. And it's just some of like my other work is just like, how do we revive these corner stores too? But I think the movie tied so well into Clarksdale and brought a lot of those elements from historical Clarksdale to the present. And I think this is a big opportunity to kind of dissect it a lot more.
Let me ask you this: when you first saw it, like driving to Memphis to see it, or driving up to the theater, did you already know it was loosely based on Clarksdale? Did you know that going into it, or you learned that while watching?
I knew it was based in Clarksdale, and I knew like it was about vampires, but other than that, I didn't know what the details would be. But I was very proud in how it was depicted and how, you know, it was very genre bending. And it brought in like these horror elements to talk about these very complex issues. And then also this very historical elements too. And so I thought it was pretty beautiful. I think there's a really, really beautiful scene. You know, growing up in Clarksdale, we know that we're the birthplace of the blues.
Right.
But I don't think people are connected with the power of what they really mean. And I think Coogler does a really good job in visually depicting that in that one scene at the juke joint. where he like ties in the blues and pop and rock and even hip hop today. It was just beautiful. But again, people locally needs to be connected with that power and what that really means. That the thought that Clarksdale have shaped America and the world with its blues roots, that is very powerful.
That's
And
powerful.
people
That's big.
need to be connected with that power. And so it's just very important.
And so what clicked with you? So let me say this. So Tyler created an open letter, and then he'll tell you other people came on board to help, edit, nurture, uplift this letter, and it has just exploded. And he has gotten, at last count, nearly 6,000 signatures for the letter at last count. But Tyler, what clicked with you to say, I want these people to really see Clarksdale, and I want Clarksdale, residents of Clarksdale, to connect more with this? Because you and I talked offline. This is so much bigger than just Clarksdale, right? This is a clarion call for the entire state of Mississippi, actually.
Yes, sir. Well, it was interesting because I think there were siloed conversations that were happening. On Facebook, you had Clarksdale natives like Dave Houston and Jaleesa Collins and so many other people who were saying like, hey, we need to have a public screening. And then I would go over to X and Threads, and some of my creative friends down in Jackson, like Jasmine Williams and Justin Hardiman and other people like Jarquita Brown, they were saying the same things. And they were saying that, hey, like this needs to be, how can we have a public screening, but also have some dialogue with the cast, maybe have some dialogue with ourselves around our creative economy, our blues economy, and how do we instill dignity back into people native to the Delta, especially, and invite not only the cast, but ourselves to engage with this cultural experience that is the Delta and be proud of it. And so these different groups were on these three different platforms, and I'm just like, hey, like let's just write a letter. And so that Thursday, I put on Facebook, I was like, hey, we need to write an open letter. And then we just started. You can go see the comments now. We just pretty much started chatting and planning. And then that night, I just wrote the letter. And it wasn't until Monday, and I was working with Jasmine Williams over with SippTalk Media.
And Jasmine tried to pop in. I hope she reconnects. I don't think this is online. So if she hits you up, tell her to rejoin the stream.
Yeah, I think she has some problems with her internet.
Okay.
Yeah, but Jasmine, she was just like, hey, we need to make this happen. And Jasmine really going in on X and Threads. We were kind of like thinking through like the language. How do we make this sound like Mississippi? And that night we posted it, and Aaliyah picked it up, who's also a Clarksdale native with Capital B News. She was the first person to report on it. And it kind of just went from there. And once Aaliyah made like a X post, I was like, is this happening? And we were just like, and it was like, it's happening. And so within like a day or two, like things had just blown up.
It's happening is a real thing. I mean, USA Today, The Breakfast Club, The Shade Room, TMZ. I mean, it is everywhere, man. And your name and your colleague's name is ringing around the country. I love the piece of instilling and re-engaging this work with dignity, because far too often people depict us and they try to do it with shame, right? They try to depict Mississippians with shame, but you're standing firm, right? There's dignity in this space. There are a lot of creatives in Clarksdale, creatives across the state. And I think one of the beautiful things to me, and like I said to you offline, that this is amazing work, but one of the beautiful things to me is that you recognize that it's bigger than Clarksdale, right? It is bigger than Clarksdale. Mississippi. But I think, Tyler, that it's absolutely important for those people to come and walk the hallowed grounds of Clarksdale, Mississippi.
Yes, the sacred grounds of Clarksdale. And so and so, you know, we do have an open letter, still an open invitation. We have had a few conversations with some executives at Warner Brothers. There's no date or location of a public screening as of yet, but we're hoping.
And you've been able to have this conversation because you've got enough signatures where
yes,
right?
Yes. So thank you everyone who have signed the petition, open letter. We really appreciate it. But we're still asking, like, how can we curate an experience where they are the cast and crew are seeing our juke joints. You know, the movie really shows like sharecroppers picking cotton, you know, and I think that's maybe like when people think about agriculture, you know, that's maybe the first thing that comes to their mind. But we also have some really amazing organizations that is rethinking agriculture and farming and using the land to feed us. And there's so much power in it. There's people like organizations like Swan Lake Association, which started in the late 1800s, but during the first and second Great Migration, they acquired over 600 acres of land in Coleman County, right outside of Clarksdale. And they wanted to make sure that as everyone was fleeing, going up north and going wherever, that if those former sharecroppers wanted to come back home, they would have land to live and grow food on. Today, they are a portion of that land they're dedicating to a farm incubator, trying to build up the next generation of farmers in our area, in our region. You got another farm called Start to Finish by Robbie Pollard. He is growing so much produce, greens, okra, lettuce, Swiss chard, strawberries, you name it, he's growing it. People need to see that and be connected. Like, this is our ancestral land. We need to be connected to that land and to this story of also the blues. People need to see folks like Griot Arts, an arts education after school program that recently got donated the old Paramount Theater in Clarksdale, which is once a segregated theater. Black people had to go enter through the back, go up a flight of stairs and sit in the mezzanine, while white people used to have to go through the front under a marquee. They are already engaging the community in how to reimagine that space and be inclusive of all people. Wow. Those are the stories of Clarksdale, this new Clarksdale, this reimagining of the Delta that people need to know about and also be connected with their power. So that we're inviting the cast to come and go through this curated tour, but also as we think about also having a screening, what does it look like to also have conversations a part of this too, to kind of dive into
intentional conversations, right?
Intentional conversations. But also these conversations need to be more about action too. And so I really wanted Jasmine to be here. I hate that her internet is acting up, but Jasmine have done a lot of work, really spearheading some of this local creative work in Mississippi. So I think she can really curate these conversations with the cast that asks these questions of like, why wasn't the film shot here? What does Mississippi need to do to get our creative economy to that point? But also inspire some of our filmmakers right now, our videographers, our photographers, our designers to prepare themselves to be in this space too. And so those are some conversations that you got to have the cast. There are other conversations where it can just be me, you, and other people who are ready to change and add dignity to everything. We can just have these conversations. We can have a conversation of where did the Chinese American corner grocery stores go? Where did they go? We can have a conversation of what is the future of food and agriculture in our state, and how do we connect young adults in a real way to this. And these are all themes that are a part of the movie, but we need to bring it into reality.
That's right. Bring it to life in Clarksdale. Absolutely. I love those curated conversations. Those are some amazing spaces to be in. You talk about asking the question, why wasn't the movie filmed there? So that's a conversation that needs to be held, on a state level. What are the incentives for these films to come and shoot in Mississippi? What are the tax breaks? I understand Louisiana gave a lot of tax breaks to them, and a ton of incentives for them to shoot there. So why can't Mississippi replicate that, right? Who's responsible for that? But and also to your point, everyday common conversations about effectuating change right on every block, every street corner in Mississippi. You mentioned earlier about corner grocery stores and how important that space is, and you guys just celebrated the recent grand opening of Jay's Grocery, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. So my day job, I work with Partnership for a Healthier America. I'm the director of Mississippi Delta programs. And one thing that we're really doing is I'm trying to breathe life back into these corner grocery stores. So in Clarksdale, Kroger left in 2017. And there's just been like a big, thing like, oh, we need another big grocery store. But we also wanted to take a step back and say, who are the people who, instead of trying to find like some other corporate, giant store, who are the people who are already giving, serving their community with food and selling food? And Jay's Grocery is owned, veteran owned, been in the community for 27 years. It's near an elementary school, a middle school, apartment complexes, single family homes, a Head Start, parks. And we said, hey, this is a good location to try to do something differently. So chips, candy, sugar, drinks, but now we're integrating fresh produce from those same farms, like Swan Lake, with their sacred land going back to the 1800s. This sacred land, like start to finish farm with Robbie Pollard, integrating their produce in the store. And so there's beautiful signage. We went through a renovation project for over a year. And now that store is back open to the public. But we also want that to serve as a reminder too, that if you look at Clarksdale's food history and food access, it has been the neighborhood corner grocery store that has served us the longest, way more than the Kroger, way more than Walmart. Maybe we need to go back to that system. And if you look a little bit more broadly, if you say, think about food access or food deserts, maybe these small, less than 5,000 square foot stores, maybe that's a model that can be replicated and spread to alleviate some of this stuff. But also, one other thing, what were the policies that were enacted or wasn't enforced that led to the decline of these Chinese grocery stores to begin to? That's getting into one of these panels that I want to have when the Centers Cast go in there, but come here. But those are the conversations that needs to be had. It's just one of them.
Listen, man, I think you are spot on. And it's so funny because as you were describing Jay's Grocery Store, particularly highlighting that it has always been a pillar in the community and where it's actually situated in Clarksdale, that's an exact replica of Canton. These corner stores in these small towns have always held a strong footprint, right? In these small towns, it's where you can go and get some meat slice and run home and pick it up really fast for dinner. It was in Canton for me. It was winning cheeks, right? Just on the corner, we could just run up and and get some things and go back home. And my mother and my grandmother would cook that stuff up. And so again, that's why I say this is so much larger than Clarksdale. What you are doing is giving folk an opportunity to see all of the beauty in all of its flaws in Mississippi, right? And I think that's why I appreciate your work so much. So what's next in this space?
So now we're in conversation with Warner Brothers. They have some of the ideas that we have, just like what I've outlined here. We're just going to wait to see how that goes, how they respond to it. But again, we want to co-create something with Warner Brothers, Proximity Media, the Cougar. We want to co-create something that we all can be proud of and happy of.
He has a connection to Mississippi, right? His uncle, right? And his uncle loved the blues and all of that, right?
Yes, and so and how do we just create something that we all can be proud of? And I would personally like for it to complement their rollout of the film further too. Like, I want this to happen before it get on the digital, all this stuff get on digital. But I think there's a way we can kind of complement this Clarksdale homecoming with this digital rollout as well.
Absolutely. Man, Tyler, great work, brother. Jackie John, one of your homeboys as well. Great work, Tyler. Clarksdale, his hometown. So, man, you started something. You started a movement like we talked about offline earlier today. All movements have been started by young people. So I applaud you. Excited about your work. Looking forward to see how far this thing goes. And so, you got a helping hand here. So just let me know however I can help you, brother.
Thank you, Othor. Thank you, everybody who signed the open letter. And thank you, everyone who is working behind the scene to make this happen, too. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. You've got a lot of partners, and I appreciate you being able to galvanize all of those people.
We got 31. 31.
I love it. I love it. All of these people in Clarksdale came together, and I've met several online because of this. And so kudos to you, man. Good work. Keep it going, and we look forward to the next step.
Thank you, Othor.
All right. Appreciate you, brother. All right, that's Tyler Yarbrough. I am telling you, you're going to see his name in lights. So stay tuned for that and be on the lookout for that. Aaliyah and Jasmine and all of the people working hard to make this happen. And Aaliyah, who is a journalist, a great journalist, I love how she has taken ownership with her work. And so if you got to reshare, retweet it, and repost it, give her credit for it, because she is the original author of the information. Great storytelling, just great work that's happening in Clarksdale, Mississippi. Let's turn our attention now to our next story, and that is what happened this past weekend on the campus of Tougaloo College. United States Representative Jasmine Crockett served as the keynote speaker for the graduating class of 2025 at Tougaloo College. On your screen there, you see her pictures from the graduation. And so she started a fire, excited the graduates, right? And really issued a call to action. Our producer, Dr. J, was on the scene, got some great pics, great video. She was on the scene. But Representative Jasmine Crockett's visit did not come without controversy. Tougaloo College has since received threatening telephone calls, right? Threats on the campus today. And even really before she arrived on campus, Dr. J and I, when I mentioned this to her, she was like, why are these people so afraid of the truth? And one of the things that Dr. J said, which I thought was profound, is that their lives, they're wrapped in lies, and they become so afraid of the truth. President Dunzel Lee, president of Tougaloo College, did issue a letter today. We actually invited him on to talk to us tonight, but he was advised not to talk about it publicly. But he did issue a statement, and that letter there is on your screen. I'm going to kind of read it from my phone here, though. So it says, "Greetings, Tougaloo family. I write to inform you that the college has received concerning calls regarding the commencement speech delivered by Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett on yesterday. We are not taking these occurrences lightly. Appropriate actions have been taken. Contact has been made with law enforcement authorities to ensure that safety protocols are in place if needed. As always, your continuing safety is our primary concern. We are asking for your help in keeping our campus safe. Should you receive a call of this nature or notice anything suspicious, please inform Vice President Donovan Cooley immediately." And it lists a telephone number, and he thanks folk for their cooperation. So it's very interesting. I think we have a clip of a part of her speech that we'd like to share with you now, and then we'll come back on the other side and wrap that up.
Lonely. Remember this, just one person can make all the difference. That one person can and will be you. Distractors may sound like, wait your turn. I can tell you that I hear that quite often. I can also tell you about the daily blows that I take and the hate that is consistently spewed at me. But the reality is that there is a song that goes, haters, get on your job. Haters, get on your job. Y'all know that song? Okay. We're also going through the soundtrack of my life. Again, it's the paradox and parallels for me. The work done by so many like Benny Medgar and Fannie Lou Hamer are under attack. And instead of publicly calling us the N-word, they use racist epithets and suggest that we're ghetto or unqualified or diversity hires. Even though we're all more, oftentimes than not, more educated and qualified than they are. I have news for you. These attacks are not new because Jim Crow never died. He just lied in wait. They've always attacked diversity, equity, and inclusion. They've always attacked people and institutions who serve on behalf of Black people, and it hasn't always been overtly racist. Sometimes it's building highways through communities, underfunding schools, or as y'all know, neglecting to invest in infrastructure like water systems. It's the paradox and parallels for me. As I've had a chance to listen and learn from one of Tougaloo's finest, are we doing something else with it? Let me be the first one to tell you that I know that y'all are ready to put your boots on the ground. That's your cue. There we go.
Listen, that was nothing but the truth, right? Absolutely nothing but the truth. And here's what I know for sure: we will always be attacked for telling the truth. They don't like it, right? They are afraid of it. And when you don't fit that box, or even when you no longer fit the box, you will be attacked. But I absolutely love and adore Representative Crockett. I love what she stands for. I love her delivery, and I love how they underestimate her. And then what I love even more is that once they found out how educated she really is and how well grounded and well positioned she really is, then they decided to attack her from the space of, oh, she's just pretending to be that ghetto. She's just pretending to be that Black. She went to an Ivy League school. She can't relate. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. That stuff is absolutely funny to me. But the threats cannot be taken lightly, right? They cannot be taken lightly. So kudos to Dr. Lee and the team over at Tougaloo for acting swiftly and really guarding the campus and ensuring that safety prevails above all else. So thank you, United States Representative Jasmine Crockett, for gracing the grounds of Tougaloo. And I will say this, Tougaloo is not new to this, right? Tougaloo is not new to this, right? Tougaloo is not new to this, space. Tougaloo has always given a voice to the voiceless. Tougaloo has always allowed movements to happen on its campus. Tougaloo has always been a hub, right? Been a hub for Black leaders, right? Tougaloo has always given voice to the voiceless, and these threats and these actions, it just makes us talk louder. Just talk louder. So Tougaloo is not new in this space at all. So thank you, Dr. Lee. Thank you, Representative Crockett, for doing your thing on Sunday. I was originally scheduled to be out of town, and then when plans changed, it became a little too late for me to figure out how to navigate to get to that space, because I so wanted a one-on-one with her. Maggie Wade and Aaron Pickens, they jointly did an interview with her. I so wanted to be in that room, right? I so wanted to be in that room. Listen, and moving on to another subject matter, we had hoped to have received information about the outcome of the executive session that happened at the Board of Aldermen's meeting in Canton, Mississippi. Most of you know, like Jackson, Canton is in the middle of an election, right? And so general election happens in June, just like Jackson. There's been a number of homicides and unsolved murders that have happened in Canton over the course of the last 3 to 5 years, and folk are looking for answers. Oddly enough, though, there are some folk that are saying this conversation is being politicized, right? And folk are going back and forth. There are a group of folk who are calling for the immediate ouster of Canton's police chief, Othor Brown. I learned yesterday maybe, or today. I either learned yesterday or today that he is hospitalized. And so there are folks still calling for his ouster. There are folks that are saying, give this man an opportunity to heal and to defend himself. Public safety is a concern for everyone. I just don't think that we should use it as a political ploy. And I think these are necessary conversations to have. Other news coming out of Canton, Mississippi, there was a restraining order and a writ of mandamus leveled against the Canton Democratic Executive Committee. There was a court hearing this morning at 8:30, and the judge dismissed that case. And so now everything is leveled, everything is smooth. There were sightings of irregularities at polling places and folk not being able to vote. I think that Ms. Walker, who was running for mayor of Canton, I think there's a hearing on Thursday to re-examine some ballots that were cast. And I think that every candidate has a right to do that. I think there was a very narrow margin between Ms. Walker and Mr. Taylor. If memory serves me correctly, and I don't have those numbers in front of me, but if memory serves me correctly, maybe just a 50, 60 point difference. I don't even think it was 100 vote difference. I don't recall it being 100 votes that separated the two of them. And so I think that everybody has an opportunity to say, look, I want y'all to re-examine this, look at this again, and ensure that every certified ballot possible that was placed went to the right candidate. So I think that happens on Friday, this coming Friday. I think that happens on this coming Friday. And I think that camp still could possibly even do something after Friday if that doesn't work in their favor. Follow the process. You know, that's what I say. Follow the process, because at the end, I think truth will prevail. And at the end, who's supposed to rise to the top will rise to the top. I think Cantonians are crying out for change. I think Cantonians are tired of this election wrongdoing and election nightmares hanging over their heads. I know I've been talking about election mess ups and mishaps in Canton for a very, 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 very long time. And I know the good folk in Canton are tired of this. But I will tell you this, coming off of the conversation about unsolved homicides, unsolved murders, I know there are a lot of people in Canton that want to get to the bottom of this. And so there are a lot of people working in that space to create some movement centered around gun control. And we're going to continue to follow that and help out with that as much as we can. And so as soon as we get an update, you know, in as much as they can tell us in terms of what happens in executive session, whether they took some action or not, and they are not necessarily privileged. We're not necessarily privileged, I should say, in terms of knowing exactly what happened in executive session unless they took some action. So we're going to be following that as well. And so this is a good time to plug this. Our goal is to tell stories across the state of Mississippi. So if you know where something is happening in the state, if there's something that you think we need to cover, please, please, please inbox us, reach out to us, and let us know, because that's our goal. Our goal is to tell stories across the state of Mississippi. All right. So if you see something happening in parts of the state and you think that we should be there, we should know about it, please, please, please feel free to inbox us and share that information with us. All right. So that's what's happening in Canton. That's what was happening in Clarksdale. And now we're going to close the broadcast tonight. Dr. J is pushing me to do more pop culture stuff, and I think she's absolutely right to do that. She wants to make sure that I'm well-rounded, right? So we're going to close the show with a conversation about the Met Gala that happened last night. You know, that's a hard, I'll say this, I am told, because I didn't even try, I am told that's a hard event to watch, right? Gary says referral compensation. Hey, I got you, Gary. I got you, buddy. I got you, Gary. Bring those stories on. I got you, man. I've been told that's a hard event to watch, right? I've never tried to watch it. All I do is look at the fashions and kind of talk about people from there. But we've got an expert that's going to join us now to help us break down these fashions. Tiffany Leake-Hunter is joining us now to kind of talk about all things Met Gala. How are you, ma'am?
I'm fine. How are you? Thank you for having me.
I am doing well. Thank you for being here. I am so glad that Dr. J connected us. So before we jump into these fashions, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Tiffany Leake-Hunter. I am a salon owner in Atlanta, Georgia. My salon is Ken Bailey Hair Studio. I'm also, they say I'm a fashion expert. I just enjoy fashion. It's just effortless for me. So when I heard about the Met Gala, and when I heard the theme was Superfine, Tailored Black Style, oh, I was done. If I could have been there, I would have been there. Because I felt like for once it was going to pay homage to us, you know.
Yeah.
And everybody knows that we are fashion. We are style. We are music. It's Black culture. It's us.
Absolutely.
So I was
Absolutely.
not disappointed last night at all.
We'll get there. Yeah, when I learned the theme, I guess a couple of days ago, I was like, oh, wow, this is going to be good. And Dr. J said she wondered why she saw more Black people there this year, but really good. Now there were some misses last night. There were a lot of misses last night. So let's start with the worst. And so I don't know how Dr. J pulled these, but we're gonna start with the worst, right? And these are the worst according to Dr. J. I don't know, but this is Al Sharpton. What on God's
Brother
green
Al.
earth?
Brother
What on
Al,
God's
Brother
green earth
Al.
is that is?
Who did that to him? Now he knows that is. He looks like Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory. Total miss. Total miss. They could have did
Total
Uncle
miss.
Al better
I
than
mean,
that. Yeah.
those sleeves. I'm like, come on, man. What is this?
No, they would no miss. Next.
Yeah. First of all, you too old. Yeah, that was the best. All right, let's go to the next one.
We ain't gonna wear him out too bad because he, you know, we respect him. Now let me tell you, I was definitely disappointed with Pharrell's look because Pharrell is because he's such a unique, fashionable icon. We were looking for him to kill it, and
So,
his
I
pants.
don't want to interrupt you, but Gary, is Gary your brother? Who is he saying that's
That's my brother. That's
Gary
my
your brother?
Not my real brother, but the royal family.
Ah, got
He's
it,
my
got it.
brother.
Okay, I got it. How coincidental, right? Okay, so now what's wrong with this? With what
Listen.
Pharrell has on?
The first thing that's wrong is his pants are too short. They should have been a little bit longer.
And they look wide at the bottom, right?
Well, the wide part is fine because they're boot cut flare. That's a part of the trend. But he's already short. How your pants gonna be too short?
That's giving me, like, I like the jacket, but those pants really, they're giving me a mermaid vibe, and that's what I don't like about it.
Well, it's not horrible, but we just expect so much more from Pharrell.
Okay, and see, I don't follow him like that, but I hear you. Okay,
Well,
all right.
Honey, and he did not give it to me. Auntie,
Oh my God.
No, ma'am. Auntie, I'm not gonna disrespect people that I respect. It's a no for me. It's terrible.
That's horrible. Yeah, enough said. That's horrible.
Mm-mm. Sometimes less is more, and this looks like a clown suit.
And this, oh God, Tracy Ellis Ross, right?
And I love Tracy Ellis Ross, and she normally nails it, but it's a no for me.
Why is it a no though? What's wrong with it?
It looks like a costume. I have
I
a
wonder
problem
what black
with.
designer created this.
I mean, and it doesn't. It goes with the theme, but it's given Halloween.
All right, let's go.
This was my favorite look.
Oh, so I guess we're in the. I guess we're
Yeah.
in the good now.
Oh,
Let's go back to Usher.
wait. No, this was horrible.
Wait, okay, so now I'm confused. Was Usher in the bad list or no?
No, Usher was not supposed to be in the bad list. Usher was supposed to be in the good list. Yeah, I think that was a little mix up.
I don't even know who.
This is Alicia Keys and Swiss Beats.
You are kidding me.
You didn't even know who they were because they look like they are on a horror film.
Oh yeah, that's horrible. And Alicia is so sexy, and her stuff is so normally. Oh my God,
beautiful, and they are such a beautiful couple. But this looks like a pirate movie.
Yeah, that's horrible. I don't even get it.
Now, let me tell you something. There is no way on God's green earth that Oprah Winfrey is my best friend. And every time I show up, I look a mess. She is a mess. She looks a mess.
But not always, though. But this is what she should have worn to space, outer space. You should have worn this.
Every time I see her, she look a mess. And I hate to wear her out like that. But every time, she always misses. And I just don't understand because there's no way Oprah could be my best friend and I'm showing up like this.
Well, okay, so I'll disagree with you a little bit. I think this is a mess, yes, but I don't think she always misses. Like I saw her the other day, and she had this green dress on and had a pocket in it, and she was so happy about those pockets. I thought the color green looked good on her, but that's the dress she should have worn to space.
Child, let's move on. We don't have time to play with Gail because that's just too terrible. Okay, so are we going to the good now?
I'm assuming I don't know the order, so maybe this is good. Is this good in your opinion?
Oh, this is amazing.
I can't hear you.
This is amazing. Lala killed this look.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
There we go. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, this is giving Met Gala and Taylor. Like this is a mess between the two. I love it. She looks amazing.
I like that.
Now
there's Usher. I thought this couple. I thought they were spot on.
Ooh, they look so good. And I can say Usher and his wife. Usher always looks good. His wife is kind of eclectic. She never really looks. She never looks like put together to me. But this night they won for me.
Yeah, they did. They did. That's a great look. Great look.
Yeah. I love Carrie Hilson's whole look. Like the entire look is amazing. I like the sheer skirt, but it's not too much where she looks sleazy. It's nice. It's classic. The hair with the fedora, amazing. I love it.
That's a good look.
He was one of my favorites too.
Who is this?
Damson Idris, I think is his name.
Okay.
I think that's his name. He was on Snowfall.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he killed this look. He was one of my favorites for the guys. And the thing about these award shows, the guys are normally like really boring because what can you do with a suit? They killed it last night. Last night the guys.
I like the boldness of that red. That's nice. Oh, I like
another favorite. Oh, Keith Powers. This was another favorite for me. The wide leg pants. It was just everything about it was perfect.
I like that.
They look perfect for him.
I like them.
Even Uncle Tyler came on through. Come on, Unc.
No,
you don't like it?
No, I don't like this at all.
That coat
is atrocious to me.
It's a cape jacket. Oh, you don't know nothing about fashion like that, obviously.
Well,
and you said If you said Gayle King don't always miss, but you don't like this, come on now.
No. You can keep that cake.
I like it. I think it was appropriate for the theme.
And it probably was. I wouldn't argue that, but it's just not my cup of tea.
I love it. What else? What else do we expect from Andre? He does no wrong.
That's
he
him.
Does no
That's
wrong.
him. That's
him. Like
that's him.
He does no wrong. I'm here for it.
That's him.
Now, see, I was a little conflicted with Teyana Taylor because she normally gets it right all the time. But this was just a bit too much. It was just too much. It was like you wanted to do everything
in one. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
And then you can't even really see her anymore. It's just so much going on. So it was just kind of honorable mention for me.
I get you. I'm with you on that.
I like Cardi. She came through. She was late and she came fashionably late and ready. I love it.
I really like that. I like that peekaboo at the top, right? I really like that. Not too much.
It's giving sex appeal, but still the tailored classic look.
Yeah, I like it.
I like him. It was an honorable mention for me, but it still gave the theme, but sexy. So
sexy, yeah, but she looks like one of the wicked witches there.
Not the wicked witch. But she has the little chain piece on the side to try to go in with the theme and the hat, so and the leather. She tried.
Yeah, but it definitely gives sexy. Yep, I'm with you on that.
Yeah. I like Doechii. I like her outfit. I'm not a fan of logo too much, but for the theme, I think she played well into the theme. And then that's her. That's her style. So it kind of goes with her whole style. I like it.
I like it. Yep. Hands down.
You like it?
I love that. You don't like that?
It's not wowing me. She don't look horrible, but it's not wowing me. I'm not gonna say she looks horrible.
Yeah, see, for me,
could have done better.
So for me, that's so not her, and that's what makes it look so good on her to me, right? Madam Vice President does not stray from her, I guess, ultra conservative kind of flavor.
Very conservative, yes.
Right. She's very conservative.
This is giving very conservative, though, to me.
Yeah. I like it. I can see her. Oh my God.
Now, see, I'm not here for him with these riding boots now. I'm just not here for it.
Gary, I know you don't like this, man. Don't even tell me you like this. I can't stand it.
He's asking, did you like it? No. Listen, I am not here for him. This whole get up is too much. It's too much going on. Most times, less is more. And I just feel like he just tried to do too much.
I'm not a big fan of men wearing their pants in their boots. I've never been a fan of men doing that. I don't like that.
That's very interesting.
Especially not with the suit.
Exactly. Rihanna never misses, but this time I was a little conflicted with this. It was just too much going on for me.
Is she pregnant again?
She's pregnant again. Mm-hmm. Yeah. She's pregnant, and she announced her pregnancy earlier that day. So I was just waiting for her to show up and just
she should have stayed home. She should have stayed home on bed rest.
And I'm not gonna say she should have stayed home now. She should
on bed rest, because if you're not gonna give me the pregnant Rihanna from the Super Bowl, don't give me no pregnant Rihanna at all.
She should have gave us something else. This was given too. I don't even know what it is. It was just too much.
Gary said you couldn't melt him down and pour him in that suit that man had on. Okay?
My friend is a mess.
And I'm with you 100%. I'm with you 100%. Now, what is this?
Now, I was a little conflicted with Taraji in her outfit too.
Who is that?
Taraji P. Henson.
Oh.
That little skirt. It's something about that little skirt that was just wearing me out a little bit.
Yeah, and for me, the hemline of the skirt don't match her knees.
You know what? No, we're not gonna body shame nobody today now.
Oh no! That's not body shaming. If you're gonna do that, everything has to be right. Come on now. They body shaming.
I wasn't feeling auntie on this one. Halle Berry. Halle Berry. She looks like she's going to a funeral.
She does, and she looks like she's 75, 80 years old.
Yeah, that aged her a little bit. That little pull tight bun.
Yeah,
I'm not here for it.
No.
Not at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
Nope. I wasn't feeling Lauryn Hill and all this sunshine. Get up.
No, not at all.
It's too
Not
much.
at all.
It's a no for me.
Definitely a no for me. Definitely a no. And I bet you we don't have the young man. Now, this gave me life.
Well, I mean, it's Diana Ross. She's going to give us life.
Classy Diana Ross.
It is classic Diana Ross. She's going to give us life. She shut it down with the longest train that we've ever seen. She shut it down.
And what I can't even remember the number I read in terms of how many people had to help her. But now who wants to go through all that? Who wants to wear something that you got to have 13, 15 people helping you?
Excuse me, mother, Diana Ross. That's who. Only she can do it.
Only she can do. And maybe that train, the length of that train was, it carried the number of her kids and grandkids in there, right? Because they said, yeah, maybe it needed to be that long because of that. I don't know.
Well, she had to make a statement. She always does. So,
Yeah, but that was classic.
It was. It was. I mean, listen, overall, I was pleased. I was just happy to see all the black boy and black girl joy. It was amazing to me. I loved it.
It was amazing.
Every bit of it.
And I really love the theme. I love the theme lifting us up and really showcasing and highlighting who we are as a culture and as a race of people. And I didn't even pull for Dr. J. There's a young man from Jackson who has really been moving in the space of acting and all of that, and it's doing really good. But he was there, and I didn't even lift a picture. I didn't like Jamel's hair, but and I'm sorry I didn't get a picture. But I was happy to see the representation. I was happy that Mississippi was in the house at the Met Gala last night.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it was a joy. I was up all night long. I just could not get enough. I was on all the blogs. I just couldn't get enough.
Well, good deal. Well, thank you for your expertise. We've got to do this again.
Yes, listen, add me. This is my segment. Let's do it.
Let's do it. We'll make that happen. Tiffany, thank you for your expertise. All the best to you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right, take care. All right, and so those were the hit and misses of the Met Gala last night. That was fun walking through that. Woo. But I do think that there were more misses than there were hits last night. Obviously, right? More misses than there were hits last night. Hey guys, thank you ever so much for being with us. I promise you Thursday we'll get back to our wine segment and we'll get back to my closing thoughts. So we'll get back to both of those segments on Thursday. All right, take care, stay safe, and all of this bad weather that's happening now and supposed to be happening on tomorrow as well. Have a great night, everybody. We'll talk to you again. And so our goal, it's Father's Day weekend. It's that Saturday, right? Our goal is to get in, have some good workshops, get a good lunch and an etiquette session at lunch, right? If we can grab hold of one young man, and if we can partner this young man with an adult male, right? We believe this day will be transformative because we believe this relationship can build and last. All it takes is one. All it takes is one. It takes absolutely just one. And so we need your support. We need your support. We need your support on recommending young men for this.